What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Next weekend we are heading to Loskop to do a pre-spawn session. So leading up to that, I just wanted to sit with you guys on Google Maps and show you some of these spots I love to fish and that have worked really well for me, share some tips for you on Loskop, and then in the next video you guys will see those spots in action. Before we get started, I just want to give a shout out to De Beers Overlanding. Hein, thank you so much for this cap. Have a look there, guys. De Beers Overlanding does overlanding videos. They've just started, so they've only got 2 videos up at the moment, but I know they have planned a Botswana trip coming up soon. So if you are interested in overlanding, 4x4, camping trailers, camping, and just finding some new places to go with your family, head over to De Beers Overlanding, subscribe, and stay tuned because he's got some awesome videos coming out soon. Okay, I'm going to walk through Loskop on Google Earth, similar to how I did with Whitbank Dam a few months ago, maybe even last year. If you guys haven't seen that video, I'll put it in the link below. You guys liked that video, so I'm going to do the same for Loskop. I think Loskop can be quite an elusive dam, quite intimidating. It's a bit tricky, a lot tricky. Hopefully this video will help you guys out, find some spots and get some big bass. Okay, so here we have Loskop Dam on Google Earth. Here we have the Forever Resort, where I think it's the only launch place. I might be mistaken. I think there could be another one actually up here in the river, but we only ever launch from the Forever Resort here. It's a very lovely resort. The accommodation's stunning. Launch is lovely, nice steep launch. I recommend it. Check it out if you guys need accommodation at Loskop. It's pretty much the only accommodation on the dam, but it is beautiful. I've zoomed in now on the Forever Resort. Here is the resort. Here is the launch. There are 2 launches in the resort. The first one is just about here under these trees, and then the second one is over here. We normally use this one. We refer to it as the tennis court launch because it's like right next to the tennis courts. There's parking over here for the car. It's a very nice launch. The first spot I'm going to talk about is very close to the launch. You launch your boat over here. You don't have to travel far. It's literally just around this corner. Come into this corner. You'll see there's these 2 floating pump stations. This whole bank over here has produced lots of fish for us. The one year we went there and it was just stacked with dinks. So we struggled to get the big ones. We struggled to get any fish at all on that day. So we went there, just made ourselves feel better by catching a lot of small fish. But I have caught a giant bass over here. My PB 4.96 comes out of this corner. Right on the side of here there's a steel structure that's like broken half in the water. I cast it right up against the bank with a chatterbait, made 2 cranks, and resulted in my biggest bass I've ever caught. Here's a photo of that fish. It was a dream come true. My goodness, I haven't caught another fish close to that size. This is why we keep going back to Loskop, to try and get its older brother or whatever. Most of the banks in Loskop are quite steep, but the fish are very smart, so you want to fish very finesse. We've had a lot of success on finesse baits, drop shot, Ned, weightless plastics. The main reaction bait that I throw is a chatterbait at Loskop. It works for me so well. Silver blade, white chartreuse skirt, and I don't really like a crawl trailer. I like a bait fish imitation trailer, so I usually use the pintail swim baits. I've had a lot of success on them there. That is definitely my go-to reaction bait for Loskop. Zooming out a little bit, this corner for me is my favorite section on this stretch of water along this old road. But that being said, I know guys have tons of success along this old road over here. We've seen fish spawning all along that bank. It is a steep bank. One thing I can tell you about Loskop is don't be afraid to fish deep. These fish are something else. They are not afraid of deep water. I've heard stories of fish spawning between like 6 to 10 meters, which is like 18 to 30 foot about. So yeah, don't be scared to fish deep in Loskop. Coming down along this old road, this bay, we've also caught a few fish. It's not my favorite, but coming out, this little point over here extends into the water, so just be careful. If the water's a little bit low, don't cut straight across it, just come a little bit wide, just to be safe. But yeah, this point comes out in the water. You can see that the shade of the water is a little bit lighter. You can see it's quite shallow in that corner there. We've also caught lots of fish on this point in that little bay there. My dad does really well over here on this section with an underspin and a paddle tail. There's rocks all, it's like a bit of a flat over here, so the fish should spawn here as well. I can't recall ever seeing them spawn here, but in my opinion there's no reason why they wouldn't spawn over here, because it is a bit of a flat section with some big rocks. So this is also a very, very, very good spot. Okay, moving on a little bit further down the bank, we've got the dam wall over here. I haven't had great success over here on this bank. Also very steep, flipping deep water over here. I don't even know, but it is very, very deep. The bank is also very steep over here. I haven't had the best success like over here, but coming into this bay from about there all the way in, all the way out is phenomenal. I would say that is my dad's favorite spot on the dam. He always wants to go there. There's some channels coming into the bay over here, so it'll be like flat and then it'll drop down, come back up, flat, drop down, come back up, and those channels where we catch most of our fish. So if I zoom in over here, you'll see there's a channel over there. You just got to look for the erosion lines, guys, where there's those, like you'll look at a mountain and you'll see like it almost looks like a crack in the mountain that follows into the water, and then obviously there'll be a little channel or whatever as it comes in, like these little areas over here that follows into the dam. Little channel there on the edges of the channel where it starts to drop deep on both sides. We've had tons of success here with the chatterbait, burning it along here across the channel. Oh, even drop shot inside the channel, it's phenomenal, guys. But this is a very popular bay, so it does get a lot of pressure. What I've found is it's either on or it's off. If you go in there and you catch a fish quickly, it's more than likely that you're going to catch a few more in the bay. If you go in this bay and you spend 3 hours inside and you catch one fish, it's off. Fish aren't in there, or if they are in there, maybe they've just been hammered by a bit of pressure, so they're quite finicky. But yeah, I find this bay is either on or off, but it is a phenomenal bay. We always try it. Even coming out onto those points over here, also very, very, very good. Okay, guys, and then probably one of my favorite spots in the dam, also a very popular spot on the dam. If you follow this point coming out, it goes deep again, but then about here, I think it is, maybe a bit even closer. I can't see it on the map. So there's an underwater koppie, like a little mountain. When the dam is full, the top of the koppie is about 6 meters, and every single time we go to Loskop, we catch at least one fish on this koppie. It is so productive for us. I mainly throw drop shot over here. I broke my PB at the time. It was like 1 point something kilos, but I caught a 2.3 here. Put a photo as well. My dad's got his PB here, 3.7. Both of them on drop shot, guys. Drop shot is a bit of a dink bait. It's really good at catching small fish, but at Loskop specifically, the big fish love drop shot. Maybe it's just because people don't throw it a lot. I'm not sure, but I've had so much success at Loskop on drop shot, and it doesn't even need to be a big drop shot bait. We're talking like little 3-inch little drop shot minnows. They love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I will always throw a drop shot when I'm at Loskop, 100%. Moving on, this bank over here is also, we've caught fish, but I don't think it's anything crazy, like outstanding, you know, that's worth mentioning. Here's a bit of a shallow bank. Haven't done much fishing over there. Coming to Croc Bay. This is Croc Bay. There's a cable that goes across here. You can see it there. You aren't allowed inside here. You can stay at this lodge over here, and then if you stay there, you can launch your boat. So obviously then you'll be allowed to fish in here, but if you don't launch there, you are not allowed to cross this cable. There's a few rock piles on this bank. A very good spawning bank. Guys have had a lot of success over there. Myself, not really, but I've heard phenomenal things. We will try it next week. My favorite spot around the Croc Bay area is this point. This point over here drops quickly into deep water, and again, it's that transition that you got to look for. You got to look for something different, because Loskop is full of rocks. So if you find some rocks, it's not like, yo, the fish are going to be there. There are millions of rocks for the fish to be there. So you need to look for something that stands out, you know, that's not normal, not all over the dam. So over here, it's a point coming out that drops quickly. We've got the John Easton charts, and if you have a look on this point, there's lots of big rock piles on that drop as it gets to deep water. I've had quite a bit of success starting from here, coming all the way around to there. From there it gets a bit dead, it's like a bit of a dead zone. But from there to here, we've caught lots of fish on drop shot, big 10-inch worms, chatterbait, lipless. We've done very, very well on this area. Let's move down a bit further along the dam. Here is Butterfly Bay. A lot of guys love this bay. I can't say I hate this bay. I've caught fish here, probably two fish in that bay. Out of all the times we've been to Loskop, I've only caught 2 fish in those bays. So again, it's nothing that I'm like, wow, but I have heard crazy stories about these bays. People see schools of like 4 or 5 bass, all 3 kilo plus, just coming into that bay, coming out, like patrolling for food, you know. So whenever we go to Loskop, we do give it a try, but we haven't had a crazy day in there yet. The spot I want to talk to you guys about, if you come around here, you'll see there's a bay over here, and where this point comes out, again, this is actually a bit of a dangerous area, so just be careful when the dam's low. This bay comes in here, this point comes out into the water quite far, and about here there's another underwater little koppie, and that, when the dam is full, it's about 1.5 meters under the water. We've been there where it's actually sticking out of the water, so that is a dangerous area when the dam is full. Just keep that in mind. We've caught a few fish here, nothing crazy, but it's something out of the ordinary. A point that comes in, it goes deep, and then boom, comes back out. Those fish are going to be there. We also go and try it often. Whenever we go to Loskop, we go and give it a few throws there. It's worth it. I like throwing weightless stick baits, fluke style baits. So this weekend I'll definitely throw a caffeine shad or an ocho there, 100%. Even throw your chatterbait over the top, burning it over the top, because there's a rock pile but boulders, like huge rocks, so it's snag city there, 100%. So yeah, just be careful, don't throw your most expensive lure there, because there is a high chance that it will get snagged. But it's a fishy area, man. Jeez, like it's a bit of a catch-22. But yeah, definitely recommend that spot as well. Moving up again, back up along the dam, there's that dam wall bay, pretty much across the dam, a little bit to the side here. This bay over here is known as Waterfall Bay. Reason being, there is a waterfall that comes down here. It's actually quite pretty, very tranquil. At the end of this bay, there's a tree that's fallen in the water over there. We've caught a few fish there. We haven't had any big fish caught by us here, but John Lloyd and his dad, they've also made a YouTube video on Loskop, and they went into this bay and they smashed them one morning, smashed them. So also, it's a bay that we try pretty much every single time we go there. Also, I definitely recommend this spot. Moving a little bit further down the bank over here, here's the Forever Resort. Right across the resort, there's another inlet over here, and this inlet goes quite far back. You can see in the 3D here, all these mountains. Coming into here, the first time we were ever at Loskop on the boat, this point also comes out into the water, so when you come into this inlet, you have to stick to this bank, stay in the deep water. The deep water's on this side. Very careful over here, be very careful. It also comes very shallow when the dam's full, probably about 1 meter. Stick to the left side when you're going in. Over here in the middle, on that flat, there's a big rock pile there. On the first time we were ever at Loskop, the water was crystal clear. Majority of the time Loskop's crystal clear, but going in there, I was standing on the front of the boat, and this was the first time I saw a giant bass, massive bass. We stopped there in the channel. I was just parking next to the rock pile, looked like it was on a bed, and we flicked whatever, so many things at it, and we just could not get it to eat. But that was my first like 3 kilo plus fish. I can't give you an estimate, but it was definitely 3 kilo plus. This flat area over here, in essence, should be good. I've seen that big fish over there, and it just makes sense. A flat with some rock piles, deep water right next to it. But I haven't caught anything worth shouting about over here. That just looks good though. We also try it pretty much every time we go there. Coming into this bay, over here, very steep. It's like little cliffs basically under the water. That is where we caught our first ever bass on Loskop Dam. It was a little dink, probably like 400 grams. My dad caught it, so that's a little bit of history. Fishing all the way in over here, we always catch fish. We haven't caught any giants, but we catch like the 500-600 grammers pretty much every time we go in there. The one time we went in and the wind was blowing, we didn't catch anything that time. It's beautiful in that bay, beautiful. I think I've got a photo. This is inside that bay. We've seen some crocs in here. It's beautiful, beautiful. Even just for sightseeing, go have a look here, guys. It is stunning. Then coming just outside of this bay, over here, also forms a little bit of a shallow flat. At about this far, it's only 3-4 meters deep, where on this bank, that far is about 15 meters deep, so it's much deeper here. So this little bank comes out, and it's also got lots of little rock piles, gravel bottom, so the fish should also spawn there. So we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna give it a shot next week. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's a good time to fish Loskop, good time of year. Hopefully we can get some big ones on the boat. Over here, again, weightless plastics, weightless crawls, weightless caffeine shad, weightless ocho. You gotta give them a presentation that is not fished a lot by the anglers. At Loskop, the fish are unbelievably smart, so you need to present them with something that has a very natural action. So you want to avoid fishing heavy weights. Like the heaviest I would fish here is a 1/4 ounce, and that's heavy for Loskop. So just keep that in mind. You want to be as natural, as finessey as possible. And if the fish are triggering, like on a reaction bite, you know, I would definitely recommend a chatterbait, as mentioned before. A lipless, that's very good. Deep diving crank. Jerk baits are phenomenal bait for Loskop, jerk baits. And also the underspin that my dad loves throwing. He's had brilliant success here. He's caught some good fish, he's lost some good fish on the underspin here. Definitely something to think about when you head to Loskop. Alright guys, that's pretty much it from me for this video. There we have Loskop again. I didn't go over all the spots, but I did tell you all of my favorite spots where I've had flipping phenomenal days at Loskop. This dam, I know it's difficult. I know a lot of people don't like it because of how difficult it is. It takes one day for you to go there and get a 10-kilo bag like in 2 hours, and you will never ever stop going to this dam, just chasing that day again and again and again. But yeah, we're going there next week. Stay tuned, that video will be coming out a week after this video has come out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was just a little bit of a run around, mentioning the baits that I use, the spots that we fish. Hopefully we can put this into practice next week and you guys will see the spots that I mentioned in this video. A reminder, we have got our Noons Bassin merch for sale. Pop me a message on any of my social medias to place your order. I will send it to your nearest postnet for you to pick up. So yeah, if you guys are interested in ordering some Noons Bassin merch, pop me a message and we'll get on it for you. Sweet guys, I will chat to you very soon. Have an awesome week. Peace.